Flying cars might be taking off sooner than you think.
When you think about Japanese car manufacturers, Honda might not be the first name that comes to mind for global dominance. Sure, they're known for reliable cars and motorcycles, but they've always played catch-up to Toyota and South Korea's Hyundai. But things are about to change as Honda has just dropped a game changer that could not only close the gap, but actually send them soaring past the competition. Literally. Honda recently announced their very first flying car.
Xpeng's flying car has made its first public flight.
And contrary to what you might think, it won't just be a luxury item for the super rich. Nope, Honda's aiming to make it affordable for everyday people, with some rumors even suggesting that it could sell for as little as $5,000 in the future. So how is Honda able to do this, and how come it will be so affordable? Join us as we discuss this and more. Honda's journey into the eVTOL world might feel new, but it's actually part of a long legacy of forward-thinking innovation. The company officially declared its interest in eVTOL technology back in 2017. This announcement wasn't out of the blue. It was the result of years spent exploring what the future of mobility could look like. The following year, Honda gave the world a glimpse of what they were cooking up. At the Consumer Electronics Show, CES, in 2018, they unveiled a preliminary concept design for their eVTOL aircraft. With a sleek, futuristic appearance and multiple propellers designed for vertical flight, the concept hinted at Honda's ambitious plans to redefine urban transportation. Fast forward to April 22nd, 2021, Honda's president and representative director Toshihiro Mibe took to YouTube with a groundbreaking announcement. Mibe laid out a bold vision. By the year 2050, all Honda offices and manufacturing plants will operate on 100% renewable energy, and by 2040, every vehicle Honda sells globally will be fully electric. Now, in a short segment of this visionary roadmap was a key detail. Honda is planning to launch an all-electric or hybrid electric eVTOL aircraft for urban air mobility, UAM, with a target launch date sometime after 2030. This means we're potentially just a few years away from seeing Honda's futuristic flying machines in the skies. Interestingly, the global coronavirus pandemic played a surprising role in shaping Honda's recent strategies. During the announcement, Mibe acknowledged how the pandemic disrupted lives worldwide, but also served as a catalyst for change. It pushed society to rethink priorities, opening doors for innovation that could make the world a better place. Honda views this period of global uncertainty as an opportunity to double down on its commitment to creating products that connect people, enhance safety, and foster prosperity, all while protecting the environment. Their approach is clear: mass-produce mobility solutions that not only meet the needs of today, but also ensure a better tomorrow. So what exactly will this flying car look like? Well, Honda's venture into the eVTOL world isn't just about technology, it's about creating an entirely new experience for urban and advanced air mobility. And this eVTOL aircraft is built to impress, not just in performance, but also in passenger experience. It's designed to carry one pilot and up to 4 passengers, plus their luggage. Inside, the cabin promises a touch of luxury, featuring a spacious interior with premium materials and a design that ensures comfort for all on board. Passengers are treated to an enhanced experience with larger than average windows that will offer stunning panoramic views of the skies and landscapes below. Whether it's a short urban hop or a longer regional journey, this aircraft is tailored to provide an unforgettable flight. Honda's eVTOL is built for both short and long-haul flights, making it versatile for a variety of uses. While specifics like cruise speed and altitude remain under wraps, as of 2024, we know the aircraft's expected range is 400 kilometers or 250 miles. This positions it as a practical choice for regional trips, connecting cities and suburbs with unprecedented ease. For trips over 400 kilometers, about 249 miles, people typically opt for planes. But when it comes to shorter trips, like under 400 kilometers, most of us just hop in a car and endure the 3 to 4 hour drive. Sure, it gets the job done, but it's not exactly the most efficient way to travel, and that's the exact reason why Honda is pushing to release this eVTOL. So what's so special about these hybrid eVTOLs? Think of them as futuristic helicopters, but way cooler. They don't need a traditional runway to take off or land. Just a decent amount of space will do. Once airborne, they can cruise at more than twice the speed of a car. That means a trip that would take 3 or 4 hours by car can be done in just about 2 hours with an eVTOL. It's like skipping avoiding traffic and flying straight to your destination, literally. For busy folks or anyone who values their time, that's a game changer. Now you might wonder, why is Honda diving into this space? Turns out it's all about leveraging what they already do best, cutting-edge technology. Honda didn't just wake up one day and decide to build flying vehicles. This move is rooted in decades of innovation in engines, hybrids, and mobility solutions. Honda's journey into aviation started way back in 1986. By 2003, they developed their own aero engine, the HF1182, which powered their experimental Honda jet. That project took off and became the foundation for the HF120 engine, co-developed with General Electric. By 2013, the HF120 engine had received U.S. Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) certification and was soon flying all over the world in the Honda jet. This expertise in engine technology wasn't just left in the sky. Honda cleverly applied it to other areas, like gas turbine generators. One of the coolest things about Honda's approach to the hybrid eVTOL is how they're blending different technologies. Over the years, Honda has nailed hybrid systems in their vehicles, offering efficient and reliable solutions to millions of drivers globally. They even pushed the boundaries in Formula One racing with their ultra-advanced hybrid power units. These aren't just engines, they're masterpieces of energy regeneration and management. Now, Honda is taking all that know-how and supercharging it for the skies. The motor, battery, and energy management tech developed for their hybrid cars are being adapted for eVTOL, and their cutting-edge F1 energy regeneration tech that's being used to create an ultra-high RPM gas turbine generator for the hybrid eVTOL. This unique propulsion system, called the gas turbine hybrid system, is designed to provide the power and efficiency needed for seamless, high-speed travel. This turbine acts as a super efficient generator. It takes the chemical energy stored in fuel and transforms it into electrical energy. This electricity then powers the electric motors that make the aircraft fly. It's a clever setup that combines the old and the new to create something cutting edge. Here's where it gets interesting. By using a gas turbine, Honda's eVTOL gets some pretty cool perks that you don't get with battery-only aircraft. For starters, it can travel further and carry heavier loads. Batteries, as amazing as they are, still struggle with energy density. That means they can only store so much power for their size and weight. A hybrid setup like this one lets Honda sidestep that problem and push the limits of what eVTOLs can do. But there's more to it than just performance. The gas turbine runs on aviation fuel, so it fits right into the existing fuel infrastructure that's already used by planes worldwide. No need to reinvent the wheel, or in this case, the fuel pump. That's a big deal because it means transitioning to this kind of aircraft could be smoother and more practical in the short term. Now, here's where things get even cooler. This hybrid design doesn't lock Honda into using conventional fuels forever. Sustainable aviation fuels, SAFs, are used instead. These are eco-friendly alternatives to regular jet fuel, often made from things like plant oils, waste fats, or even captured carbon. When paired with the gas turbine, SAFs can significantly cut down the carbon emissions of air travel. So while this setup isn't fully electric, it's a massive step toward greener skies. What Honda is doing here reflects a much bigger trend in the aviation world. A lot of companies are turning to hybrid propulsion systems as a smart middle ground while we work toward fully electric zero-emission air travel. Think of it as the stepping stone we need to tackle the challenges of electric flight head-on, like limited range and heavy batteries. What does all this mean for you and me? It's simple. Faster, more convenient travel without the hassle of airports or traffic jams. Imagine a world where you can get to a meeting in a nearby city or enjoy a weekend getaway with just a short flight from your neighborhood. That's the promise of hybrid eVTOLs. Let's take a closer look at this eVTOL. The aircraft's propulsion system is where Honda's engineering shines. It uses 8 dedicated VTOL propellers for vertical takeoff and landing, 2 pusher propellers for forward flight, and 10 electric motors powered by a hybrid gas turbine engine and electric power source. This hybrid electric approach ensures efficient energy use while offering the range and reliability needed for advanced air mobility. The body, or fuselage if you want to sound fancy, is made from carbon fiber composite. Why does that matter? Well, carbon fiber is super strong but also incredibly lightweight, which is like the holy grail for anything that needs to zip through the air efficiently. Less weight means more speed and better performance, and it's key for squeezing out every bit of range from the battery. Now, the wings are where things get really clever. Honda gave this beauty 2 tandem wings, basically one pair in front and another in the back. The front wing is a little shorter than the rear wing, which might sound like a quirky choice, but it's actually genius. This design makes the airflow smoother, boosts lift, and keeps drag, that annoying force that slows things down, to a minimum. Oh, and the winglets? They're like tiny upturned tips on the wings that make the aircraft even more stable while adding a bit of flair. Then there are the booms, long structures running alongside the body that house the VTOL propellers. These babies are perfectly positioned for balance during takeoff, hover, and landing. And when it's time to touch down, the retractable tricycle-style landing gear ensures smooth as butter landings. Yep, even the landing gear is a show-off. Now, we all know safety is a big deal, especially when you're talking about flying cars. Honda didn't skimp here. The eVTOL uses something called distributed electric propulsion, or DEP. Basically, it has multiple propellers, each powered by its own electric motor. What's cool about this? Even if one motor decides to take a break mid-flight, the others keep things steady, making sure you can still land safely. On top of that, every critical system has a backup. It's like having a spare tire, but for everything important, the fail-safe mechanisms are top-notch, ensuring that the aircraft stays reliable no matter what. Honestly, it's this kind of attention to detail that's gonna win over people who might be nervous about hopping into a flying machine. But here's the thing, the Honda eVTOL isn't just about looking cool or flying smoothly. It's about changing the way we think about travel. With its hybrid electric system, it's designed to handle both quick city hops and longer regional trips. That hybrid power setup doesn't just give it extra range, it's also kinder to the planet. Less fuel burned means fewer emissions, which is a big win for the environment. And let's not forget, Honda is all about creating transportation solutions that don't just move us around, but also move us forward. The eVTOL fits right into their vision of a greener, smarter future. Imagine commuting to work by air, or taking a regional trip in a vehicle that's quieter, cleaner, and just flat out awesome. It's not just about getting from A to B, it's about doing it in a way that's efficient, safe, and oh so stylish. Now, you've probably heard it before. Companies hyping up their plans to release futuristic flying cars, showing off jaw-dropping prototypes that look straight out of a sci-fi movie. Cool, right? But here's the thing, most of these projects never actually leave the ground. They stay in the what-if phase, stuck as concepts and prototypes. So what makes Honda's case different? Well, they're making moves that could actually get us one step closer to living in a world where flying cars are a thing. Recently, Honda announced that its prototype flying vehicle has received approval from the FAA for flight testing. That's not just a fancy stamp of approval, it's a sign that Honda is serious about turning this dream into reality. The FAA approval is a big deal because it allows Honda to start testing this bad boy in the real world. The exemption covers flight demonstrations through October 2026 and involves a scaled-down test model weighing just over 55 pounds. But don't let the small size fool you. This little prototype is packing some serious innovation. Honda says the design features a multi-rotor configuration with propellers for both lifting and propulsion. Translation, it's built to be quieter and more efficient than your average helicopter. Noise pollution is one of the biggest complaints about urban air mobility. Think loud drones buzzing over your neighborhood, so Honda is making sure their eVTOL doesn't annoy everyone below. And here's where Honda's aviation experience really comes in handy. They've already got a solid track record when it comes to certifying aircraft thanks to their HondaJet program. This isn't some newbie company fumbling through the learning curve. Honda knows what they're doing. It's not just Honda hyping up their new toy. People in the industry are already excited. Take Thomas Kyle Leonard, a quality management specialist who chimed in on LinkedIn with some high praise. Everything Honda touches turns to gold. I am sure this design has already been deemed functional by their engineering team. Now it's time for a 2/3 scale demonstrator model to hit the skies. That's a bold statement, but honestly, it tracks. Honda's reputation for engineering excellence is no joke, and they're not the type to throw out half-baked ideas. The big picture here isn't just about Honda making a cool flying machine, it's about the potential to reshape how we travel. Hybrid electric air travel could reduce emissions, cut travel times, and create a whole new way of thinking about transportation. Imagine zipping over traffic on your morning commute or taking a quick flight to a neighboring city without dealing with airports. Of course, there's still a long way to go before this becomes mainstream. Safety, infrastructure, and public acceptance are all big hurdles. But with FAA-approved testing underway and Honda's expertise leading the charge, the future of flying cars just got a little closer to reality. Now to perhaps the most important question, how much will this eVTOL cost? Well, sadly, Honda hasn't spilled the beans on how much their eVTOL will cost yet, but come on, this is Honda we're talking about. They've got a solid track record of offering quality stuff without breaking the bank. You'd think they'd stick to their reputation and price this thing reasonably. Now, here's the cool part. The eVTOL market is heating up like a kettle on a winter morning. Companies are racing to get their air taxis up and running. And when competition gets this fierce, it's usually the customers who win. Everyone will be trying to keep their prices competitive, and that's bound to give us, the consumers, a sweet deal. Speaking of the competition, Hyundai is not just sitting around watching Honda. Nope, they're all in with their own eVTOL project, the Supernal SA2. At CES 2024, Hyundai's advanced air mobility division, Supernal, gave us a sneak peek at the second generation SA2. It's sleek, electric, and totally designed to make you feel like a futuristic commuter, and they're aiming to have it airborne as early as 2028. That's even shorter than Honda's timeline. But Hyundai didn't just jump into this recently. If you rewind to CES 2020, you might remember their first crack at this, a prototype called the Urban Air Mobility SA1, which they developed in partnership with Uber Air. Back then, they were predicting first flights by 2023. Things have shifted a bit since then. Uber Air is no longer a thing, and Hyundai's Urban Air Mobility division has evolved into Supernal. They've also upgraded from the SA1 to the SA2, moving the hyphen and pushing their timeline a bit further into the future. A race in the skies, it's not just about the tech, it's about who gets there first and does it best. Companies like Honda and Hyundai are working at breakneck speed because they know this isn't just about building cool flying cars. It's about creating a new way for people to get around cities. Fast, clean, and hassle-free. And honestly, the fact that these companies are putting serious thought into safety, affordability, and sustainability is what makes this so exciting. Sure, 2028 might feel like forever away, but when you think about the leap from cars to personal air taxis, it's kind of mind-blowing how close we actually are. The battery-powered aircraft features space for 4 passengers, their luggage, and a pilot within its V-tail fuselage. This aircraft uses 8 rotors to make magic happen. When it's time to lift off, the 4 rotors at the front point straight up, while the back 4 angle downward. It's like the rotors are working together to give it that effortless vertical lift, no runway required. Once it's cruising in the sky, all 8 rotors rotate into a horizontal position, turning the craft into a smooth fixed-wing flyer. This dual-mode operation isn't just about versatility, it's about squeezing the most efficiency out of every flight. The VTOL design means it can take off from helipads, making it perfect for bustling cities where rooftop launches and landings are the way to go. Forget about needing a massive airport or a sprawling airstrip. Got a busy city with skyscrapers? No problem. This aircraft is made for urban life, zipping people over traffic jams and straight to their destination in no time. Think about how much stress it would save during a chaotic morning commute or when you're rushing to catch a connecting flight. One of the best parts? It's fully electric, which makes it a lot quieter than your average helicopter. No more deafening rotor noise. Inside, during takeoff, it only hits about 65 decibels, roughly as loud as a vacuum cleaner, and once it's cruising, it quiets down to just 45 decibels. That's almost library-level quiet. Passengers won't need bulky headsets to drown out the noise, so they can actually chat, enjoy the view, or just relax without feeling like they're inside a flying construction zone. This isn't meant to compete with commercial airlines. It's more like their handy sidekick. With a cruising altitude of just 1,500 feet and a top speed of 120 mph, the SA2 is all about short, efficient hops. It's perfect for trips between 25 and 40 miles. Imagine getting from a crowded downtown to the airport outskirts in a fraction of the time it would take by car. No more bumper-to-bumper traffic ruining your day. Supernal's modular design means the SA2 is future-proof. As battery technology gets better, and let's face it, it's improving fast, the aircraft can be upgraded too. Think faster charging times or batteries that store way more energy. Instead of being locked into one type of tech, the SA2 is like a gadget with swappable parts, ready to embrace the next breakthrough in energy storage. But it's not just about the tech inside, it's about how it's built. Hyundai is leaning into its cutting-edge manufacturing processes, pioneered at the highly automated Hyundai Motor Group Innovation Center in Singapore, HMGCS. This plant, which I had the chance to visit recently, showcases Hyundai's focus on precision and scalability. With its cell-based modular manufacturing techniques, it's clear the company is serious about mass-producing these futuristic air taxis, not just making a few prototypes for show. On stage, the SA2 looks like something out of a sci-fi movie, sleek, innovative, and packed with potential. But unlike some futuristic concepts that feel more like daydreams, this one seems within reach. Over the past few years, electric aircraft and battery technology have taken huge leaps forward. What used to sound like science fiction, a flying electric taxi that's quiet, efficient, and sustainable, is now something people are actively working to make a reality. Supernal's leadership believes the SA2 is ready to transition from concept to commercial use. They're so confident that they've set a timeline. The first commercial flights are expected to take off in 2028. That's less than 5 years away. Imagine how much our idea of urban travel could change in that time. Supernal, the brains behind this innovation, sees the SA2 as a bridge between city life and air travel. It's not trying to replace long-haul flights, but to make those last few miles smoother, faster, and way less stressful. The focus is on convenience, sustainability, and making urban air mobility a reality. Plus, with no emissions and reduced noise pollution, it's a win for the environment too. Apart from Honda and Hyundai, Stellantis also invested $230 million in Archer Aviation, which is developing a flying taxi for urban use. There's a plan for route networks all around California, and the company has billions of dollars worth of contracts from aircraft operators that want to purchase the product. Now it's a matter of ramping up mass production. If all of that can happen and there is consumer demand, then flying taxis may become a thing before the end of the decade. California-based Archer is developing an electric vertical takeoff and landing eVTOL aircraft called Midnight. The Midnight is built for short urban trips, covering distances of 20 to 50 miles at speeds of up to 150 miles per hour. It can carry a pilot, 4 passengers, and even their luggage. That's like carpooling in the skies, but a whole lot faster and definitely cooler. The tech behind Midnight is pretty solid too. It's powered by 6 independent battery packs, each driving a pair of electric engines. This not only boosts reliability, but also ensures safety. If one system fails, the others have your back. Archer has clearly been thinking ahead, making this aircraft practical and secure for everyday use. Archer already has $6 billion worth of manufacturing contracts lined up. One of the biggest deals comes from Future Flight Global, a flying taxi startup that's committed to buying 160 units for a whopping $580 million. This isn't just a prototype looking for a market, there's real demand, and companies are betting big on Archer's success. Archer's reach isn't limited to private operators. They've also caught the attention of the US Air Force, delivering their first Midnight aircraft to the military. If that doesn't speak to the quality and reliability of their tech, what does? Archer isn't just building aircraft, they're creating an entire ecosystem to support their use. The company has ambitious plans for air taxi networks in Los Angeles and the Bay Area, complete with vertiports, specialized eVTOL airports. Imagine hopping into a flying taxi at Los Angeles International Airport, LAX, and landing near the Hollywood Bowl or SoFi Stadium in just minutes, skipping all that legendary LA traffic. And it's all perfectly timed. Archer plans to kick off operations in Los Angeles just in time for major global events like the World Cup in 2026, the Super Bowl in 2027, and the Summer Olympics in 2028. They've already scouted locations for vertiports at key spots like the University of Southern California, Santa Monica, Long Beach, and the Van Nuys neighborhood. In the Bay Area, the plan is to connect travelers to major California airports where Southwest Airlines operates. So it is obvious that Honda has some serious competition. What do you think about Honda's eVTOL? Can it compete with Hyundai's SA2 and Archer's Midnight? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Also, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and activate the notification bell to stay updated with all our latest videos. While you're still here, click the video on your screen to see more interesting content like this one.